They call it patriotism, but we call it what it is: pure, unfiltered bullshit. Welcome to Bluebird on Your Shoulder, where we cut through the MAGA madness with brutal honesty and zero apologies. No sugarcoating, no fake civility, just three guys, middle-aged and pissed off, breaking down the absurdity of right-wing delusion one episode at a time. If you think America deserves better than conspiracy theories and cult worship, you're in the right place. Liberal? Hell yes. Woke? Not a chance. We're here to roast the madness, expose the lies, and call out the grift. Because the only thing worse than MAGA's nonsense is pretending it makes sense. New episodes every week. Buckle up.
Yeah.
Bluebird on your shoulder, coming back. Very exciting, very exciting. Long week, long week. We had a couple of short weeks. So having short weeks leads to him having complete meltdowns, and finding ways to try to control the news cycle. So it makes him spiral out and do more insane shit.
Look over here. Look over here. Look over here.
Yes, anywhere but what's really happening, right? So we have a federal takeover of DC. That's I don't think ever actually happened. So he federalized the DC police. A lot of people don't know he is actually commander of the DC Guard. That's the only unit the president commands, right? Like direct command.
I thought that was the Speaker of the House.
So I saw speak from both were from verified, viable sources. So I was hoping you knew.
Okay.
I don't actually knew.
I thought we found that out during J6.
Yeah,
Because
that's who
didn't
he
they
blamed for.
blame didn't
Well,
they
yes,
blame Nancy Pelosi for that?
they did, and they still do, and they still do, and maybe that's not actually who was in charge. I know we were discussing this, and I couldn't pick up the phone on J6, but we can federalize, and his reasoning is crime at an all time high in DC, and it's worse than Bogota, Colombia, and it's worse than he didn't name any of his dictator friends places, but crime is actually at a 30-year low in DC this year.
Yeah, and down
So like
24% from last year.
yeah, down
Here's
24%.
what he means by crime.
Yeah, DC encampment bulldozed. He did have one of the orders, an executive order that issued a lot of funds to remove homeless from big cities. It's his
Yeah, put
slow
the
way of it's his slow way of gaining control footholds in blue cities.
and and to
Um,
and to make it pretty for the rich. You know, that
right.
you get all the poor and the dirt out of the metropolitan areas, and then the rich can walk around again.
I feel like we've seen this before in history.
Hmm.
Yeah, that might have happened. We've done a few exposés on the similarities between Reich One, Reich Two, Reich Three, and now Reich Four. I think you got a very fitting name out there on Earth. It's weird
Yeah,
though that
because I
your Earth
mean,
isn't flat though. The mega people
uh,
tell me the Earth's flat too. So like
So
the
I
Earth's
so
flat and COVID isn't real.
so I think this is a good time to make sure that we're keeping this out there, as far as what it means to disobey an illegal order and whether or not troops can be trusted to disobey an illegal order. And it does say that 4 out of 5 troops, because we actually do learn this when in basic training, and we have reinforced training throughout the year about legal versus illegal orders and what that entails. So this study was done, or this Gallup poll was taken, and most of the soldiers know that they have a moral obligation to refuse an illegal order.
Well, so that's the problem is how many of them know what illegal orders are? Like, okay, so they know to refuse an illegal order. That's good, right? So a 4 out of 5 mark, I'll take that all day long. But do they know what is an illegal order? Do they
Well,
know what
so
constitutes an illegal order?
yes, again, we go through that training. That is
Okay.
our ROI and all of that. Those are things that we do go over the Constitution. What it what a an illegal order looks like, and then where we're allowed to take pause. So like them marching in and securing an area, no soldier is going to say no to that. We're just not going to. we'll go in and we'll secure an area. Now, the amount of resistance that we meet is our response is dictated by our ROI. And then ROE, sorry, there I am. Rules of engagement. After that, if we're ordered to detain, shoot, otherwise hurt, then at that point we have to weigh our rules of engagement with the commander on the ground's direction versus our own moral compass, and that's where we have the discretion to deny an illegal order. So
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, right? So we have, it's just interesting. So we deployed 1650th law enforcement, so not guard, law enforcement. And then he did the guard and he set up ICE checkpoints. I've seen some video on TikTok and a couple other places that it looks pretty dystopian. However, I don't know if that's now actually or if that was during the inauguration, which that happened because it did, in response to J6, obviously, right? So I don't know if the videos were current or that. 800 National Guard to clear encampments and target crime hotspots. 45 arrests in one night. That was pretty big. I did see a pastor from a rough neighborhood in DC said that it was a very Gestapo-like rush. Like they rushed in and just started opening fire at citizens. So now that's unverified, of course, but I did vet that he was actually a pastor in DC in a church in that neighborhood. So I vetted his position as real. I can't obviously vet that what he was saying happened was real, but he didn't seem like the type that would be telling a story for no apparent reason. But if that's true, I think this is definitely the strongest litmus test we've seen yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
What am I? Are they going to support me? What can I get away with? Can I be a dictator?
What kind of challenges am I going to be faced with? All right. So good old Wikipedia to the rescue. President of the United States is the commander-in-chief for the District of Columbia National Guard. The command is exercised through SecDef and the commanding general, Joint Force Headquarters, JFHQ, District of Columbia National Guard. The current commanding general is Major General John Andoni.
Yeah, so interesting stuff, right? Like, so he was the commander.
Most interesting if we go back to J6, and the argument that Trump made was that Nancy Pelosi was in charge of security that day, and that he couldn't have sent in the guard.
There's no law.
Absolutely the one that should have.
Fair enough.
It's always somebody else's fault other than his. Right. Of course, they're going to blame somebody else.
Yep. But so the Capitol Police have an office at the Capitol building that falls under the purview of the House Speaker. I'm going to find that one out too. Anyways, continue.
Capitol Police falls under the House Speaker. That's really interesting, right? 1973, the District of Columbia Home Rule Act was passed, and that's when the guard for DC was given to the president. So since 73, so we're talking 32 years. So definitely when January 6th happened.
62 years?
Is it 30 to 73? 20? Oh my God. It is 52 years. I don't want to be that old. Stop that.
We're that old, bro.
Yeah, stop that. I don't want to be that old.
One other alternative is not okay.
Right. Another really interesting happening that's very correlated to this type of situation is there's a domestic civil disturbance quick reaction force that they are trying to institute or try out, or I don't know what the right word here is for, but it would be 800 guard troops stationed in Alabama and Arizona, ready to deploy within an hour to quell domestic unrest.
They're prepping all kinds all over the country.
Yes, very interesting.
That sounds like they're getting ready to gear up for martial law.
Yeah,
exactly right.
Which would keep him president.
Yep. And if they're really gonna try to go for this, I'm pretty sure that what we saw with the attempt on his life will be something that will be utilized again as an excuse. Out on the campaign trail, conveniently, he gets shot at, big uproar, martial law, scrub the election. He can stay in power as long as he can come up with an excuse for and then at that point they'll probably have tried to just go ahead and overthrow the Constitution as it is.
That's a wild concept, but unfortunately, in this day and age, maybe not as wild as it should be.
I really think that he's trying to position that one of his family members take over. That's why I said several episodes ago, all hail the Trump family.
It's a monarchy. We can't have a monarchy with the Constitution.
Yep. He just got one of his daughters a job there at the White House again, and Junior has touted, he's thinking about running. Like I just see the pieces of the puzzle there that it could fall into place.
I mean, that was one of my biggest problems.
I mean, that's
Clinton,
Hillary running. What's that?
That was one of my biggest problems with Hillary running.
I get that.
It wasn't her as much.
Was it nepotism?
It was like, your husband's already been president. I don't want. It would have been, if she would have won, then it would have been, and did 8. It would have been like 32 of the last 50 years were ran by 2 families, Bushes and Clintons. And
what, 3 families? 3 families total? Because
Obama's
would be in there.
Yeah, Obama's in there, right? But 2 families over 50 years ran up, 80% of that 50 years would have been ran by 2 families.
Right.
And that's explicitly what we didn't want a part of in the first place.
And there's a lot of people that feel like when Clinton was in, she was the one making the calls anyway.
That, I don't know. Bill's pretty good.
Yeah, he was so small time back then, though, compared to her expertise already.
They were always a power couple. There's a lot of rumors that marriage.
He'd already been governor. All she had done was been in law. So
was he governor of Arkansas?
Yeah,
was that governor of Arkansas? Because I was young during Bill. You know what I'm saying? So he played the saxophone, and Monica Lewinsky in the side pocket. Those are the things I remember the most. So good dude. But yeah, so that quick reaction force for troops against American citizens, and what you started with, that's where, do they understand that, like, if he tells you to open fire on American citizens, that's not it. So because they're not going to open fire on you, I don't think, or he's going to put people in the crowd to open fire on them. So that's very interesting reality. One of the others.
That's what, again, we look at every accusation as a confession. So, they're coming up with these accusations that just don't make any sense, period.
100%.
And if we then look at how they're trying to do things right now, it looks a lot like they were experimenting with, the excuses that they were using in order to exert power. So that's my concern.
No, I mean, that's very, very true. And it's all an interesting angle, but federalizing DC that's a wild maneuver. So, like, and it's so we have J6, which is very reminiscent of the beer hall pooch. They both failed. They were both attempted coups. They both failed miserably. Both leaders recovered, and somehow regained power, and then they both federalized their capitals. So where the parallels are getting stronger and stronger between the Nazi Reich and the other. So no crazy interesting. And just the other thing I'm seeing is with the failure of the Epstein files to be released, and that's what a lot of this push is to get views off of it. There's a supposed whistleblower that was cellmates or next to the cell of Maxwell, and heard her talk about Trump, and now she got moved to the old the Kush in Texas.
So is that real? She's getting work release?
She got moved to the Kush in Texas. I don't know about work release, but it's an even lower security facility than she was in. So that's a really interesting reality. But what I've noticed is that he has shed support because of those things. So the Iran bomb shed support, the big beautiful bill shed some support. Epstein files definitely shed a chunk of support that they weren't ready for, which is good in a way, but it's the core that base isn't going to go for any reason whatsoever, and they're the fucking morons.
Yeah,
like those are the dumbest ones. Not all of them, but for out of the people that are left, the really really dumb ones are like the ones that are still standing. Yo ho Trump, and like a lot of the smarter ones, like the Epstein that was it. It was the camel that broke the straw that broke the camel's back. Seen quite a few more testimonials come out recently. You never know what's real in the modern world, and I'll preface with that. But they're like, I voted for Trump and I fucked up. So this one, she imports something for her small business from South Africa, and her latest shipment, UPS picked up and then said, "Yeah, you owe us $350, or we can't give it to you because you got to pay us for the tariff. We had to pay for it to pick up the package."
Yep.
And she was like, "You guys told me that we didn't pay the tariffs, that the other country paid the tariffs." And I'm like, "Listen, hold on. You guys, they told you. We told you the truth.
Yep.
We told you what actually happens, because it's the educated versus the uneducated."
And we tried to tell you pre-voting too, and you didn't listen.
A whole lot of not listening, right? A whole lot of not listening. So that leads me to there is a lawsuit actively happening, and there's testimony in California about him deploying Marines in California. It's not the guard part, but it's the Marines.
Yep.
And they are attacking that he violated the what is it called? There's a rule. Posi cosmatos, is that what it is?
No.
I like that word. That word's kind of cool.
It's right on the tip of my tongue. And
the rule that you can't deploy a United States military on American soil.
Yeah.
So there was
the Cometus Kabatas.
See, I wasn't crazy. I was pretty close.
Yeah, you're not too far off.
Yeah, I was pretty close. So
you're just
an illegal power grab is what they're talking about, right? So at the end of the day, though, there was a bunch of a general was testifying, and he said that they never called it. Yeah, didn't hear the protest described as a rebellion, right? Which it would have to be for him to.
Trump did to justify it, right. Yeah.
And he would have to invoke the Insurrection Act, and it would have to be a rebellion to do that. And the general's going to, I was right. It's the Posi Cosmata. You told me I wasn't right. I was right.
That is not how you pronounced it. Good try. Good try.
No, that I did Posi. That's how I pronounce that. That's probably not the right pronunciation, but I don't speak Latin. Yes, I don't speak Latin, bro. So that's not for me. But I was right. I knew what I was talking. That's what I saw in my head when I was saying it. But I think that's really important, that the general isn't going to lie under oath. because he's not going to lie under oath. He's like, no, it was never called a rebellion. So he's ultimately saying we shouldn't have been there. Like, but you were there. So 4 out of 5 said you would not follow an illegal order. Yes, you did.
Well, so here's the thing. They didn't kill anybody.
That's true.
They went in and they secured an area. They did throw some grenades and they did hit some dude in the head and knocked him out. I mean, there was some violence, but it was
violence both ways.
Yeah, it was in response to protest and it was to secure an area. So in that regard, he went in and so while they were encouraged to commit violence, I mean, Trump even said so on live TV. Their rules of engagement prevented them from committing something that would have been egregious, which is why he is being upfront and honorable right now, is because he went in with the right intention and executed that the will of the commander in chief in a short-term period, the way that he knew that he needed to in order to not go to prison.
Oh, for sure. So fair enough there, but now we're gonna have the quick reaction force and put 800 here and 800 here, and it's just it's testing the waters left and right, testing the waters. I think a lot of people on the left are like, it's coming to authoritarianism. No, it's beyond that. And at this point, it doesn't matter how big or small, narrow the scope you look at it through. We're to a version of authoritarianism in all scopes. So that dude, and so Drunky Pete's back in the news quite a lot.
I mean, we're talking military action here, so
and it's going to turn into evidence against Trump, right? So that you can't do these things. But we had another interesting appeals court decision this week. The appeals court decided he can cut foreign aid, which is a very interesting predicament. I actually see both sides of the legal standpoint. On one side, the Congress has the power of the purse, and on the other side, the president is the foreign dignitary, right? Like, that's actually the job of the presidency, is deal with the foreign stuff, not so much the states are supposed to deal with this stuff. I only bring that up to bring this up. So there is now a case going before the Supreme Court. It will be heard. I'm not sure if it's going to be heard in the fall session or the following spring session, but do you remember when? So we're only at a decade of gay marriage being legal. Is that where we're at? Right around 10, 12 years, something like it's not anywhere near as long as people
around
think
there.
it is. So do you remember when it became legal? There was a clerk of the courts in Kentucky that got arrested because she wouldn't issue the marriage licenses.
Yes.
Yeah, the one that's been married 4 times.
Yeah, and she put it out there like it was for her religious reasons or that. So she actually filed suit long time ago, right? Obviously. And this actually has a question in the suit of whether it should have even been legal in the first place, because it should be a states' rights issue. So the Supreme Court did take this case on. They said they will take this case on. So
I didn't see that. I looked at the docket.
So like I said, they said they're going to hear the case. Now I don't know. I think it might be next spring session.
Oh, okay. So what I looked at was up to December.
Right. So they'll start hearing arguments in January, and we'll get the January, February, and then we'll get the result in June. But this could be overthrowing Oberfell. Right? Like, this could be overthrowing Oberfell, and that's where I'm seeing another group of people saying they regret. I told all my gay friends, I told all my LGBTQ friends that their rights wouldn't be at risk, and now they are.
Yeah.
And I have told numerous people, I know a handful of folk that are homosexual in one way or another, whether it be gay or lesbian, right? I don't know all the right terms. That are pro-Trump, and I'm like, are you out of your mind?
I know there's one down by you, man, and he Like he's infuriating. Like
Like, do you understand that you're next? And now here it comes. And
the
if
worst
the
part is he's anti-trans. So like he's one of those dudes that is married to a guy and he is like full anti-trans, complete like MAGA, wears the hat and everything, gay man. And I'm like, dude, like you just don't even understand what you're doing
well, I'm about to
to
find
your
out.
own life, you know?
Right. So, because what my fear is this, and I have a genuine fear. Now, there's a lot of times that the Supreme Court has been very prone to saying yes, it's the state's decision.
Right.
A lot of the procedural and the direct challenges that they've ruled on, they have
Yeah.
given the power back to the state. That's how they overturned Roe. They
Yeah.
gave the power back to the state, right? And then
Yeah.
we had a lady literally become an incubator because of it. So this case is going to go in front of them, and there is a caveat in the case that directly challenges Oberfeld because it should have never been legal in the first place. So she should have never been in. Therefore, blah blah. Right? Like,
Right.
Yeah, because that
and
lady lost
so
her job over it. I remember that.
I mean, she lost her job. She went to jail.
Yeah.
So because she was ordered to do it and she refused. And you can't be a clerk of the court. You are a, what's the technical word? You're a like a member of the court, or like lawyers are this person, judges,
Like an
clerk of the courts. There's an official term. You're
You're
like a of
a
the courts.
rep.
You know,
It's not representative, but it's something
no,
like
you know what I'm talking. Right. So
that.
not
she's
like
one of those.
not like an elected official.
No.
No, it's like
You're
it's
part of the court's honor
you're part
system.
of the judicial system.
Right. So
Yeah.
and so you are bound by its rules. And
Right.
when you're given a lawful order, just like in the military, if you're given a lawful order by an elected official above you,
Yeah, you go to
you have
jail.
to comply.
Right. You have to comply because
Right.
you are, of the courts. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So you have no choice but to, because it's the law, and you uphold the judicial, you uphold the blind justice. So she definitely went to prison for it. So yeah, so that's going to end up being heard. And I have a feeling I know how that's going to turn out. And there's going to be a whole bunch of marriages immediately annulled. Like we are on a hard road.
That's going to screw with people's insurance and stuff too.
We're going to screw with everything.
Insurance, retirement,
Yeah.
taxes.
Humanity.
Right.
Well,
I think it's,
that
but
part was
ultimately
good.
that's right. But that's the
That was
part.
this. I
That's
gave
the
you three.
part that's where the part it should matter to anyone. It's a
Sure.
human thing.
Yeah.
It's a human thing. It's not a, there's all kinds of thises and that's,
Right.
but it's a human rights issue. And they're human, therefore they have the right.
This whole administration is a human rights issue.
This
So
whole administration is a human rights violation.
right, that's yeah.
So we went from being the leaders of the free world to the joke of the free world to, you know what I'm saying? So
It only took
interesting
12
stuff.
years.
Yeah, and now we're gonna cook the books because we don't like the books. So we're gonna move into that.
Oh yeah.
So we fired the Bureau of Labor Statistics lady, who was I do believe an Obama appointee originally. She'd been doing the job a long time. It could have been a Biden, but she'd been doing the job a long time. So jobs reports come out and their survey. We talked about this a little bit last week, right? So a survey goes out to corporations and they answer the survey. Sometimes they don't answer the survey on time. So the information given is wrong and it needs to be revised because people have answered the survey since. So he revised to 250K less jobs, which let me think they were cooking it from the beginning.
Yeah.
So he didn't like that the truth came out that you lost 250,000 jobs and they're almost all in the manufacturing sector. And so he fired that lady. And now he is going to appoint one of the front runner authors of the Project 25 from the Heritage Foundation, who fully believes that should be, a thing, right? And it's going to be completely politicized economic data. So economic data has never really been politicized. It's used politically, but it's never been politicized, right? Like those are just facts, figures, and numbers, right? You both work in industries where it's just like numbers and numbers matter. So
Oh, Josh,
yes,
it was 258,000 over 2 months.
yeah, over May and June. So a major mistake, right?
Not a quarter like we talked about last week.
Oh, so yeah, so 2 months he lost. That's a sick amount of people who lost their job.
Yeah, where
right?
where Biden had to revise, what was it, 1 million over a year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So super weird there. But now we're going to politicize the economic data because we don't like it. We don't. It's a child throwing a fucking temper tantrum. So there was also in the economic realm, he through an executive order called the Fair Banking Executive Order, directing regulators to prevent banks and agencies from denying services based on political or religious beliefs. He firmly believes that banks stop doing business with him because he's MAGA. Now, banks stop doing business with you because you bankrupted
a felon
everything.
Because you lied in order to get
banks.
loans.
So he was debanked. So for this reason and that reason and this reason, and it's that never-ending spiral where it's attack on the white man, attack on the white man, attack on the white man. The white man's the victim. The white man's the victim, and I think MAGA's
that brings up this article. White House is reviewing the Smithsonian exhibits to make sure they align with the MAGA vision of history.
The MAGA vision of history is the very correct, the very correct reality.
Very white reality.
The very white reality. I think he's going to start putting the statues back up soon too. So, and we discussed the mRNA funding cut. There is a Federal Reserve nominee advocating for a weaker dollar. They want to weaken the dollar.
Yeah. He's trying to argue. Oh, we can make a lot of money with the weak dollar.
Look, I'm not an economist. Like, I'm not even really that good at math. Like, I gotta.
But I know what an oxymoron is.
But I do know what an oxymoron is. What, dude? We're gonna make more money with a weaker dollar. So you want a Venezuela situation?
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for.
Where you can have $1 million dollars and it only be worth $5.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then we have a lot of attack on the environment. So there's a lot of attacks. So there's a lot of discussion about making subsidies for wind and solar a lot harder to achieve. Because why would we want to use renewable energy? That doesn't make any sense at all.
Because the wind will cause cancer, haven't you heard?
I have heard that a couple of times, actually. I also heard that George Washington was the commander of the greatest Air Force in history. So I've also heard that. So, which I think is kind of cool that he had wooden teeth and he was the commander of the greatest Air Force in history. The Wright brothers thought that was really cool, just for the record. So that's, but he's wanting to reduce those subsidies, right? And cripple renewable energy. So outside of a lobby thing, I don't understand his fascination with coal. It's not even oil, it's coal. So, but since we're on the topic of energy, and it's going to directly affect you two, I know Google is opening a data bank up there by you. Yep. And now they are talking about using a miniature nuclear reactor.
Nope. That was some mention of a possibility in the future, and I read into it. There's no talks any time within the next 10 years of having anything like that put up. So,
well, still a little mini nuclear. What is a miniature nuclear reactor? Like, does it come in a box? Like,
smaller than a whole one. It just doesn't have as many reactors. So
it's not like a Tesseract or something.
No.
So,
but speaking of energy, they did, and up here they did just approve a rate hike
That's happening everywhere, so we can fund the data centers.
Yeah.
So we can power all the data centers and the AI centers, which we'll pivot to that. I was going to wait for later for this one. So because I went down some non-political rabbit holes this week to give myself a bit of a break from the absolute stupidity. I got mad enough this week to use my real name, my real Facebook page on.
Well, both of y'all.
Oh yeah, I did see you post something
on your local news pages, because it was a smooth brain parade in the comment sections up there. If you bought American aluminum, what American aluminum? You don't fuck. What American aluminum? We don't manufacture that at very high quantities, ladies and gentlemen. But so there's a lot of tech people, and there's always been this argument, but it's getting hotter. So it's come out, and the Peter Thiels of the world, Plantier surveillance on the United States citizen that everyone's not talking about, like got a huge contract to surveil the shit out of us. Then we have YouTube, Snapchat, and there's another one going to do ID required verification, which is more wrapping into the surveillance state. But Peter Thiel, Bill Gates, Sam Altman, and the guy who runs, is that Altman who runs OpenAI?
Yeah.
Okay. So Altman, and then Elon hasn't really weighed into this, but he doesn't like Altman.
And then there's also the guy from Oracle. His son is the one that just bought Paramount, Skydance.
Yeah. So, but what they are talking about is AI has advanced so far already,
right, that
we were probably within 2 years of AGI. AGI is artificial general intelligence.
Yeah.
And it's an extremely confusing topic for people. So what general intelligence is what we have.
Yeah.
We have general intelligence as human beings. We have the ability to discern, to learn on our own, to seek out information, to decide to do things. So currently all AI is task oriented. You have to tell it what you want it to do. Hey, I want you to go do this, and then it will go do it.
And then you have to refine it to get the right outcome.
Right. So,
and but it still oftentimes has error.
Right. So what AGI will be is artificial general intelligence. It will decide it wants to learn, and it will learn on its own. And it will decide it wants to learn about this. And after learning about this, it'll decide it wants to do this, and then it will start doing this.
And then it will decide that humans shouldn't exist and
are misaligned, right? That human beings will be misaligned from that reality. And I think that that's a crazy thing, and it's a global race that's not talked about, which is why we're seeing rate hikes in AI centers and the CHIPS Act, and this is what is spawning all of that, right? China, infrastructure wise, is ahead of us. Us, technology wise, are actually still ahead of them. And it's a global race. Who's going to reach AGI first? And then there are a small group of tech people that are very worried about it for reasons you said. The larger group of tech people aren't as worried about it. However, there was a comment made. I'm not sure if it was Gates or Altman who made it. But once we establish pure AGI, what are we going to do with the working class? Because we don't need them anymore.
Well, I think that's been discussed a couple different ways by a couple of them in various roundtables and stuff like that.
Right. But it's like we're so busy right and left right now that nobody's looking up and down. And there's a
the entire middle is about to go away because your middle management, your white collar, your basic task duties, all of that stuff is about to be eliminated, and you're just going to have upper middle management who manage AI instead of managing people.
Keep my job.
And then the AI will give tasks down to the menial labor force. So
yeah, but how long until the robots? Once you have AGI, robotics is right behind it.
Yeah, I mean, robotics has already made a couple very large strides in balance.
There's some robots that can do some wild things.
Yeah, the biggest problem is cost and
They
power.
they already have like a robotic arm in Amazon warehouses that are
Yes.
sorting the products because they can reach and feel it and like raises it up and down to put it where it needs to go and side to side if it needs to go on the conveyor belt. Like, so that's
Right.
eliminated a job already.
Yep.
I've seen some innovation in my industry where the robotic arm can drop the fryer baskets and pick them back up and
Yeah,
dump
I've
it.
seen that too. Yeah.
So I mean, it's out there, right? Like there will be,
Mm-hmm.
now that's where I do kind of like Elon. So Elon wants that, but he also knows that universal income has to come if we do that. That it has to be where if we don't have to work anymore, you still got to give us that money. You
Yeah,
know what
but
I'm saying? But that's not
but
going to
but
happen. Right?
but Elon may have said that, but he doesn't want to enact it in a way that affects how he does business. I mean, he doesn't take care of his employees like that at all.
Nobody
So,
in their right mind is going to just give away money like that.
Well, if it's all AI doing all
Warren
the
Buffett
work,
will be the first billionaire that will make himself that is giving away more than what like 80% of his wealth by the time he dies.
yeah, that's fair. But so the other
So
part of this is
and Bill Gates is the same way. He will die not rich by
And neither one of them are involved in politics.
imagine that.
weird stuff, man. So, but
They went out and decided that they were going to save the world on their own because they
Miss
saw the writing on the wall with, somebody
Mr.
denying the
Beast,
USAID to save kids with
yeah,
AIDS in Africa.
Mr. Beast is the coolest millionaire I've ever seen. The kid watched him all the time. I just thought he was da da da, but
Did you
the
say
things he
deeds
does.
or did you?
No, Mr. Beast.
Who's Mr. Beast?
Look him up. You'll figure he
Okay.
does all. So he was a huge YouTuber. He was like the first massive YouTuber,
Okay.
and he made hundreds of millions
Mm-hmm.
off YouTube. And huge. Like the kid's been watching him since he was like 6. So what he's started to do over the last couple of years, I'd say 3 to 5 years, is he takes on these projects. So one of his major current project is to bring clean drinking water to people in Africa.
Yeah.
And he's digging all these wells and bringing
Oh,
clean
okay.
drinking
So I do know
water.
who
And
this is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then now he's teamed up with Mark Roper, who used to be a NASA guy.
Yep. Yep.
And then he became a YouTuber, and now he's teamed up with him. And there's a lot of, and I see the angle, right? Developing Africa is actually a really good thing long term, because of the
Bring them up
amount of
so that they can be consumers. Yep.
natural resources in Africa is an
And
insane
that.
thing. But before we go too far that way, the AI and the Peter Thiels and DC. So there's a rumor in the underbelly of politics that what Trump is actually going to do is create safe cities that are ran by AI technocrats, otherwise known as all those people in the front row of his inauguration.
Right.
That this is going to be the test run, and that this is openly talked about inside the White House. And I've heard underbelly rumors for a while, but these particular people that I follow that put these underbelly rumors out, they said he was going to federalize DC 2 months ago. They said, trust us, it's coming. He wants to do it. This is his end goal. And now he's doing it. So I'm starting to believe their sources are valid, that they have good sources to this. So that will be really interesting to watch, right? And then we have NVIDIA chip exports, a deal involving that, right? Tied to Trump, which is making other tech companies mad because that's executive overreach. Like
Right.
private companies are supposed to be private. They're not public. So now you're determining what a public company does. That's, you guys scream about socialism all the time. That's what the fuck authoritative socialism,
Right.
where that's communism. You guys love to call us communists. What he did with NVIDIA is actually a communist act where the state told the company what it was going to do. That's the second time he's done it in this administration, because he did it with US Steel.
Yeah.
telling them they had to merge with the Korean company or the Japanese company. I can't remember. The Japanese company,
steel.
right?
No.
So that's
no, you're right. Korean steel, right?
And then how one of them, and then he has some controlling interest in that deal. So that's twice now he's done things that are purely communism. Well, what communism to be, not actual communism, but you're not smart enough to that, so I'm not going to get into it. But what they know communism to be, what they call us and say we're going to do, it's every accusation it's a confession. So it's a wildness. But then I think we need to tie up tonight with a really interesting one that's going to blow some people's mind. So he's having the meeting with Putin tomorrow. This will be released around the same time he'll be meeting with Putin, maybe a little earlier than he'll be meeting with Putin in Alaska. Now, there's a reason that U.S. presidents do not meet with the Russian president in Alaska. Do you guys know what that is?
Death.
No. Russia thinks they still own Alaska.
Yeah, isn't there like a shared base or something there?
So just off the coast in the mini islands, that it's half Russia, half us. It's not a shared base; it's more like a DMZ line, actually.
Yeah.
But Russia has always claimed that the Alaskan purchase wasn't actually a sale; it was a loan, and that we were only supposed to have Alaska for 100 years. And that we reneged and said it was a purchase, and that's why we still have Alaska. So for a U.S. president to allow a Russian leader to come into Alaska is a big no-no. Because Putin, for Putin's optics, that's going to be fantastic for his hardcore supporters in Russia, that he's going to be having the meeting in Russian territory, because they firmly believe that Alaska belongs to them and they want it back. So is this the next territory that they're going to come after? As they have this, and people do not know that, and it's not common knowledge. And when it first came out that it was going to be Alaska, I was like, no way, he's really going to do it in Alaska. Right. But now that he's really going to do it in Alaska, I think people need to know that Russia thinks it's theirs, and this is more capitulating.
So I don't think that they're doing it for like anything to do with Alaska. I think that was a Trump concession to give Putin something to write home about, and then it's on American soil, and then Putin's going to offer something to Trump so that he can push for the Nobel Peace Prize, whether or not Zelensky agrees to it or not.
That's probably true as well.
And then
you are correct. You are correct. It is happening at a joint base in Anchorage. There is a joint Russian-U.S. base. You are 100% correct. It is. I didn't realize there was a joint base in Anchorage. There is a joint base in Anchorage, which is more proof to the pudding that I'm not saying the Russians are right. I'm not saying they're wrong either. America doing dirty shit, that's not beyond us.
Nope.
So that's not beyond us in any
way,
shape, or form.
There's also something else that came out this week in regards to this. Gallup went into Ukraine and did a whole bunch of surveying, and the appetite for continued conflict has dropped by like 13 points or something like that, against continued resistance from Russia. They want the people are starting to wear thin of war, and they want Zelensky to go to the table. He's still got a high approval rating by the people, but they want him to get to the table and figure something out.
I feel like that would be consistent with any country that's in a conflict like that for an extended period of time.
Exactly right. Yeah, we're at the attrition rate, or we're at the attrition point where most people are like, for fuck's sake,
get it over with already.
They don't have a lot of men left.
Well,
it's not manpower, actual males.
Right.
So they've lost a lot of males to the point where that's probably going to be passport bro central if there's a peace agreement. So because the last statistic I said, it's women 10 to 1 now. That's a hard way to keep your population going. Could be Russian propaganda. Like I said, you
Yeah, I
never
know.
know what you see on the
So
internet.
the Ukrainian. So I have a friend that puts up a ticker every day, and the Ukrainian casualty rate isn't really that high. I think they've lost like, I don't know. I want to say it's only like 180,000 people. People, like that's people completely, like all their
Yeah,
casualties.
because female Ukrainians go hard. They fight hard.
Fuck yeah, they do.
Yeah,
Um,
I've seen some tough women for
oh
sure.
yeah, I've seen some great videos of women training. Um, but you know, the Russians have lost over 1 million men.
They beat
So
the shit out of Russia. I don't care what anybody says.
yeah.
They go hard. They've beat
Oh
the
yeah,
shit.
they won
Um,
that war regardless of the outcome, you know.
yeah.
But
So
oh
okay, so male to female ratio pre-war was pointing. Um, so they say, okay, so real stats are saying only about 0.8% of the male population has been killed. So it's probably Russian propaganda.
yeah. Yep.
So anyone who got really excited about all the blonde-haired white
I bet
women,
I bet that's what it was they were trying to that was a recruiting tactic.
could have
Hey,
been.
join up and you can go and get yourself a Ukrainian wife.
Yeah, that's probably true though, because our military has gotten foreign wives for a long time from
Oh
places
yeah,
we go.
still
That's a
do,
thing. Yeah,
still do.
That's a thing. So, but one of the other really low key things that happened, that for us and especially us too, uh, an executive order revising how grant decisions are made with federal funding, and that um, overseers could override peer reviewed research.
Yeah,
So overruled scientific and peer reviewed decisions. So typically decisions in that realm are made by peer review and scientific reasons. Like the money should go here because they're closest to getting this, and you should get this portion, and then the peers vote on it. So the scientific community votes on where so if you're all researching cancer, this particular cancer researchers could get it because they're close to a breakthrough, and we all agree they're close to a breakthrough because we peer reviewed their work and
yeah,
they're dead on. And so it should go there. Now, Joe Blow is gonna find out. Just like the whole DC's crime is because the Doge employee Big Balls, which is literally what his tag is, got assaulted. Starting to question whether that was real.
right.
Stopping the carjacking, and now they're going to give him the Medal of Honor. Like it's not, there's talk that they're
Medal
going
of
to give this
Freedom.
kid the Medal of Honor, medal, whatever. Some shit he didn't earn. Some shit because even if it's all true, so you got beat up. No,
Yeah.
no. It's that soft, right? It's that super soft. So it's that super soft. But yeah, so we have
I
the
mean,
last.
they gave it to Rush. I was telling somebody this yesterday. They gave it to Rush, so it's a meaningless award
Oh,
at this.
Rush Limbaugh. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Yeah, so they it's an interesting, right? But just to full circle, the last time a Russian president was on US soil was meeting with Bush in Maine in '07. So it's just not something we really do. You know what I'm saying? And that was early Putin before he went fucking nutty buddy. And what will forever scare me about face to face Putin and Trump is Putin is extremely intelligent.
no, he also knows
He's
that he
not.
has Trump by the balls.
Well, that's easy. So we have an absolute fucking moron in the room with a brilliant logistic. He's brilliant. He's logistical. He's got spy skills. I guarantee he's probably clipped a couple hundred himself, during his KGB days.
So didn't
Um,
he used to be part of intelligence in the KGB?
Oh
yeah, he
yeah.
was high ranking
Yeah, that's what I thought.
intelligence in the
So
KGB. Like this dude knows what the fuck he's doing. He's
He knows
not
what everybody else is doing too.
yeah,
correct. And if anyone thinks their intelligence apparatus is diminished, it's not. Their intelligence apparatus is extremely proficient and extremely profound at what it
Well,
does.
it's been at work hard
Hard,
work.
right? Well,
Since
yeah. there's a lot of question that this is all the puppet government that was slowly installed over that they won. They won through bots and internet. They convinced the morons that they got to vote for the moron. So because white people are being attacked and white people are going to lose their white peopleness, or I don't even understand it. I don't even understand it. Then we have new Social Security rule change possibly coming that threatens benefits for 400,000 low-income seniors. Because we don't need them and they won't vote for me, so they can die.
Yep.
That's because he did not win the old vote, which is shocking because typically Republicans do win the old vote, but they don't like him. And then Medicare funding, clinics are starting to sue, rural hospitals are starting to close. Because Medicare funding was slashed, even though they weren't going to slash Medicare funding, but then it was, and then it's still telling you they didn't do it, but yet they did do it. And now there's lawsuits from these clinics and hospitals saying you couldn't do what you did. And now they're talking about slashing it even deeper. So it's like the poor, the sick, the working, the old, the frail, the vulnerable, the homeless, the brown, fuck them. That's what this administration is all about. Fuck them.
Let's not forget about the veterans.
And
the internal investigators for the OIG went in and investigated the Veterans Health Administration's severe occupational staffing shortages. So all that we talked about with cutting funding and then cutting all those jobs. All right, so this is what we can expect to see in the healthcare industry too, with those cuts to Medicare and Medicaid, and Social Security benefits. Is then the healthcare industry will start to be strained even harder again. So in 2025, Veterans Health Administration facilities reported a total of 4,434 severe occupational staffing shortages, a 50% increase from last year, with facilities reporting a total of almost 3,000 total shortage occupations.
So like none of those. Is that what that means? Total shortage? So there's none of that occupation? So like OBGYN would be an occupation.
Yeah, that would be an occupation. That's how many different areas they have. So basically every single occupation in the VA has shortages right now.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yep. 79% of facilities report severe shortages of nurse occupations. Psychology was the most frequently reported severe clinical, with Title 38 severe, with 57% of facilities reporting as a shortage. Police, because when veterans get lied to and shat on, they don't take that very well. And all 139 facilities that they
interviewed or surveyed,
that they investigated had staff shortages. Now, the investigator or the investigation, the recommendations that were made to fix all of that, zero.
Oh, okay. Because why would we want to fix it? It's fine.
Yep.
I think the psychology one's pretty big. There's a lot of PTSD. There's a lot of combat veterans out there. Yep. We are members of a combat generation.
Yeah.
Vietnam was the previous combat generation, and then there was a lull. And then we spent a majority of our formative years in war, combat. You yourself been deployed to a sandbox. So in that PTSD, that's that psychology is really important to that, right? It saves lives because we're already at what, 23 suicides a day still. Is that still a
22 statistic? A day? Actually, it's down to I think 19 a day is where we're at right now.
I mean, it sounds like a small. It sounds like a small cut, but it's not, because 3 a day. Then over the course of a year, that's 1,000 saved lives.
Yeah,
a little over 1,000 saved lives, right? And the psychology department's going to have a lot to do with that. You know what I'm saying? That psychology department's definitely going to have a lot to do with that, and super interesting reality there.
Yeah, and for any
So
veterans that need to reach out, of course you have 988. There's also the Vet Center is a great resource. The VA is overtaxed, as we just discussed. So the Vet Center is oftentimes a very good alternative, and a lot of times they can see you same day or that same week. So make sure that you're talking to them. And then what we should talk a little bit about how this is going to go, because the cuts that were made are just the beginning. Now that Trump has stripped collective bargaining rights for federal employees, now the VA has cut out all of their collective bargaining or their unions in that operate inside. So those contracts were canceled, have started to be canceled as of this week, and
gotta
that will
love it.
allow them to fire more people.
More working class people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and a lot of these people are veterans.
Yeah.
When I go to the VA, probably 50% of the people that work there are veterans themselves.
Right. But working class people, it's the working class
Oh
party,
yeah.
and all we do is attack the working class.
Yep.
So yeah, so another interesting week, and then we're gonna have the Putin summit. But to show up today, this is episode 30, ladies and gentlemen. If you've been here this long, we're super excited. Thanks for sticking with us. We are going to take a short 3-week break before we come back for our final 10 episodes of season 1. So we'll be gone. Should anything extremely crazy happen, we'll probably have a little special episode here or there. Throw it in that 3-week break. Like, should all hell break loose, even more than it already has. And then we're gonna close up season 1 right before the end of the Thanksgiving, and then we're going to reconfigure season 2 right after the beginning of the year. We're going to take a holiday break. We all have families and things to do, and we love you guys, but we love our people too. And they get a day a week, and there's planning, and there's editing. Well, not a lot of editing, but a little bit of editing. There's posting.
we're gonna retool so that we have a little bit more.
Right. Yeah. So make some changes. So anything like that is very good. Try to maybe find some more guest speakers. We had really good guest speaker this portion, and I would like to see more of that. I would like to see MAGA come. I would like to see I was MAGA till come and talk that. There's actually somebody me and you sparred with on a friend's Facebook post a lot that's been really, really quiet since the Epstein files didn't get. I don't see him commenting no more. I wonder where he all went. I like that dude. He was vouched for. So yeah, what do Marines fight for the chance to? I'm not even getting into algorithm. So
that's my name this week. So I want to make sure that people knew why.
Yeah, we're gonna feed Brown the Gators. That's an interesting reality. But yeah, so and after the 3-week break, we will be back to finish up our last 10 episodes of season 1. If you've rode with us this far, cool. Tell a friend, get them ready. It's exciting stuff. Our first episode back could be a long one because in 3 weeks, a lot of stuff could happen. We will repost some of our favorite and your favorite episodes during our break. So introduce a friend, bring somebody new to the table. Let them hear us if they want to hear 3 old middle-aged white guys who can't sleep wrong or they can't walk right. So that's fun. I walked up and down with a chain gang on a football field today, and I'm probably going to walk funny tomorrow because of it. Because that was a lot. I think I lost 8 pounds tonight. That's an insanity. I could have used it though. I could have used it. So, but yeah, until we're back from break 3 weeks from now, we will see you. It is Bluebird on your shoulder. We will be whispering. We'll still be paying attention. If you want to come on the show, reach out. You know us. Hit us up. We'll be here. Until then, we'll see you all later.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.